It is not our job to tell your hearing care professional how to do their job. Hey guys, welcome back to the Dr. Cliff AUD vlog. This is vlog number 258, and today I want to talk about something that's been bothering me for, well, really since I've been a student in my audiology program. But before I get into this video, do me a huge favor, click the like button, really helps out the channel. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on, go ahead and do that as well. It is greatly appreciated. Okay, so back when I was a student going through my doctoral program to become an audiologist, I had seen a number of patients come in to see me in the clinic. And keep in mind, I am not even an audiologist at this point. But a lot of these patients would end up coming in and they were already fit with hearing aids from another clinic in the area. And when they would come in, they would basically say, well, I'm not doing very good with my hearing aids. I'm here for a second opinion. So we'd basically take them through an entire round of different testing. We'd be doing booth testing. We'd be doing real ear verification, test box measures, all the things to identify why they were not performing up to the level that they wanted to perform at when it came to their hearing aids. And what we ended up identifying is that there were certain things that were not done by their hearing care professional, or if they were done, they weren't done very well, which is ultimately costing these individuals their ability to hear at their highest level. And so what would ultimately happen is that they would then ask me, well, tell me what to tell my hearing care professional so they can fix the problem. And I just remember being like to these patients, well, that's not my job. Like my job, I'm not going to tell you to tell what your provider that they should be doing so you can actually hear better with your hearing aids. If you want me to fix the problem, let me fix the problem. Otherwise, best of luck seeing if that other provider who clearly did not do things in a way that would optimize your hearing ability, just roll the dice and see if you tell them to make an adjustment or whatever, right? So why am I talking about this today? Well, I spend a decent amount of time on social media, both in professional forums and consumer forums. And you guys hear me talking a lot about what I hear in the consumer forums. Well, I had a friend and colleague post something in a professional forum saying, well, I've had two patients come into me this week. One of them purchased their hearing aids online. One of them purchased their hearing aids from a chain hearing aid store. And they ended up coming into her clinic, and she ended up doing, again, the same kind of thing, like an evaluation, all of that, and then gave them essentially her recommendation. And what both of these individuals did, both of the patients did, is that they wanted to take that recommendation and go back to the place where they originally got their hearing aids to see if that place could actually accommodate what they needed in order to hear better. And it just got me thinking, like, why is it that people are going to get a second opinion, and then when the second opinion that they get sounds really good, meaning like it's backed based on data and information that they get, and they get that information, and then they're like, well, let me see if my original provider can do everything that you're saying should be done with my devices. And I get it, like a lot of hearing aid clinics will sell hearing aids to an individual. They will provide a certain amount or quantity of aftercare. So if you need adjustments, you need anything, you can just schedule an appointment, go back into that clinic, and they will do it for you, because essentially that's what you paid for, especially if you went through a bundled model of hearing aid purchase where you buy the hearing aids and all the services are included inside of that purchase price. But I've seen this happen more and more, where people, again, like over-the-counter hearing aids are coming out, prescription hearing aids are being sold online. There's still a lot of locked hearing aids that are being sold out there where you can't necessarily go get them adjusted by a different hearing care professional. You have to go back to the clinic you got them from, which of course is horrible for people with hearing loss, but people still buy from those places for whatever reason. And we see it a lot where people will come in, they've got their devices, they want to take that recommendation back to their hearing care professional to see if they can make them hear better. And oftentimes it doesn't end up working. And in fact, I have patients who are like, well, can you print me off all the real ear measurement curves and all of that? Can you tell me exactly how much amplification to add at each frequency so I can take it back to my professional so they can go ahead and make those modifications? And I basically draw a line. I'm like, listen, My job is not to do your hearing care professional's job for them. If you want me to do the job for you, I can do the job for you. And I suspect that this is happening a lot to primarily hearing up clinics across the country and in Australia. And it's the reason why is because I think individuals with hearing loss, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you learn a lot of information about what things should be done with your hearing aids, but your original hearing care professional is not doing any of those things. So you end up going to a professional like a Hearing Up Network member who is doing all those things, so you can find out how much better you would be able to hear if all of those things were done. And then you ultimately want to take that information back to your original hearing care professional. I'll just tell you straight up, like, if you are not confident in your hearing care professional's skill set, if you are to the point where you feel like you need to get a second opinion on your hearing treatment, chances are the original place that you went to is just not capable of doing these things. If they were capable of doing these things, don't you think they would have done them already? Like, I don't get this line of thinking where you want to go and get the information from a second professional and take it back to your original professional and think that that original professional is going to actually do those things at the same high level. I mean, it's like going to a surgeon and not liking that surgeon and then going to a different surgeon to find out, well, how would you do the surgery on me if I was your patient? And then they tell you how they would do the surgery, and then you take that information and you go back to the original surgeon who's like, hey, I went to this other surgeon. They said that you should do the surgery this way, not the original way that you were going to do. You see how ridiculous that sounds? But in hearing aid world, it happens all the time, and I really have no idea why. I'm actually really interested to find out why. If you have ever gone and sought out a second opinion, have you ever taken that opinion and taken it back to your original hearing care professional? I mean, I don't know, maybe you've done that and you've done it with success, but I think that it is in your best interest that if you end up getting a second opinion, and that second opinion sounds a lot better than the original opinion that you got from a hearing care professional, you should probably go and give that second professional a shot to see what they can actually do. And maybe they don't get it better. I mean, I'm sure that there are cases where patients come in to see me originally, and they're not doing as well as they would hoped, and then they end up going somewhere else to get a second opinion, and then they like that second opinion better and they stay there. I would never, if I had a patient go to get a second opinion, which I am not against, by the way, if they went and got a second opinion and came back to me and said, hey, this other person says you should do it this way, I would be like, so go to the other person. Like, this is the approach that I follow because it's a best practice protocol. If they think that you should be doing something different than that, then go to them. Don't bring that information back to me. You know, if I'm not experienced in whatever the strategy is that they think that I should be using, then what makes you think you're going to get a good treatment outcome for me? It works both ways here, right? Now, with that being said, it's kind of interesting, right? This world of hearing loss and hearing aids is a relatively unique one because you already have the hardware, and then you go get a second opinion from someone and they're giving you a different strategy to use with the same hardware. So, you know, it stands to reason that the original place that you got them from could take a completely different strategy with fitting you with those particular hearing aids. But I just don't think that it's in your best interest to go and seek out a second opinion, take that second opinion, take it back to the original provider that you went to, and think that they're going to do any good for you. So again, let me know what you think down in the comment section. I'm super interested to hear your perspective and if you've even done this before and done it with success. But as always, guys, I'll see you next week.